Sylvie Simmons. And I remind you, you can buy your book over there if you really want to know what's happening in the remaining 20 pages of the book. We had first the very nice voice, and then we had the very charming accent, and now we're gonna have the very cool biography. He's a self-proclaimed composition whore, working on his MFA in fiction at San Francisco State University, and in his spare time he body doubles for Matthew McConaughey and practices leg fits in his living room. Please welcome Corey Gruber.
Hello. That's not true entirely. I've given up leg lifts. That's right. It's very difficult to follow SB and Sylvia. That was great. That was a great read. This is the Titan. There's something about being bad gets a body excited. It's like it's wired into the chromosomes. Something about doing the wrong thing and knowing you're doing it and still doing it. It's exciting. The trouble bone is connected to the excitement bone. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but I expect it is. The swelling up, the warmth, that tingling tightness in your core that pulls down on your esophagus at the very thought of trouble, of getting in it, being in it. Up until a few weeks ago, I had forgotten what that felt like. I work for my father-in-law, for Christ's sake. My name is Theodore Wills. I am an accountant for the MI Group. We're on the 34th floor of the MacArthur building. From my office, I can see the coast. Angie, my wife, is an angel. We have a beautiful, smart, charming girl, Chloe, who's in the 6th grade, and a baby boy on the way. Our house is built on a mountainside. I generally do not have anything to complain about. You might say my life suffers from a lack of trouble. Until last week. Last week, we had an auditing firm come in. Not a real audit, just some dickholes my father-in-law hired to check our I's and T's. A real bunch of assholes. I personally had to appease the whims of a geek named Jeffrey, a persistent son of a bitch who could make large calculations without the assistance of a calculator. He called it the old-fashioned way. By Thursday, I was wiped. It was late. It must have been 9 or so. Almost everyone had gone home already. I was on my way, passing through Workspace L, just down the hall from the elevators, when I noticed that there was a light on in Miranda Luane's office. A split of light stretching across the dark hallway. Miranda Luane screwed Ronnie Hutton in a cab at the Rockaway Summit last spring. Ronnie told everyone she practically raped him, and 2 days later, a company-wide email announced his resignation. Mark Blanchett, Alan Hazlitt, Mondo Sherman have all told similar stories of forced sex with Miranda. If you can believe Mondo. He's probably lying. They have all managed to keep it quiet enough not to get fired, though. And now, her light was daring me to cross it, which I did with every intention not to stop or look or talk. Before I had made it past, a sharp sliver of shadow slid into the light, and then we were standing face to face, our noses inches apart. I smelled whiskey on her breath. She slid her arms inward across her body and up her sides until they were crossed over her belly. The fine hairs of her forearms caught on my jacket sleeves as she bumped up against me. I don't recall her exact words verbatim, only that I sort of gasped and giggled and made my way to the elevators. She had a look in her eyes like a predator. And then I think there was talk of working late. I think I said good night, or perhaps I didn't. I can't be sure of anything but the tightening I felt in my gut. I must have pushed the button to call the elevator over 100 times. There is an obscurity to the brushed metallic texture of the elevator doors. a mysterious foggy quality that reflects light but not details. I think the ding of the bell was exceptionally vibrant, and it hung in the air like a hornet's nest. I stepped inside the car. I know that I pressed the lobby button and held the doors closed because these things happened, but the images are scattered. I'm not even sure they're mine. Carpet, tapestry, foggy metal reflections, the sound of the doors beginning to slide shut. There's a tension in my gut. It is pulling through me. The door rattles as it closes. There's pressure under my belt. The doors, they come to a close, almost reluctantly. They close so slowly, pressing out the light, and then they are nearly there when a set of candy red painted fingernail tips trip the safety bar, and the elevator doorbell rings, and the door opens, and Miranda Luane is standing there daring me to come back and fuck her. And it's then I know about trouble. Thank you.